So, throughout my adult life, I've collected quite a few devices that have become part of my essential devices. And one of them is this little thing. This thing has lasted me forever and it's still so good. So I wanted to give my honest review and like what happens to this device 4 years in, because I've had it for 4 years. I bought this at the beginning of the pandemic and well, let me tell you, it was so good because I was stuck indoors for so many months and I've used this consistently, which is what you should do, and I have had the best results. But with that being said, I know these things can seem a bit gimmicky, so obviously this is not paid by any means. I want to tell anyone that's interested in buying one of these things now what the journey looks like with this device down the line. So let's get into it. First things first, this is the exact product that I ordered. There are many different variations of this IPL device, so just wanted to be clear that this is the one I got, and in that package I got obviously this marvelous device and like this pouch. The pouch is empty when you get it, but I've put all of my other stuff in here as well. So you get the plug, and with this you charge and you can use it while it's charging because it has a little bit of battery life, but it's slower and obviously doesn't last very long. So I use it while it's plugged in. But charging, plug, and you get 4 different heads for different parts of the body that you can use this thing on. One is for your underarms, one is for your bikini line, face, and rest of the body. And you get this little cleaning thing as well. But that's it. That's all that comes in the box. Now let's get into the actual product. The IPL device doesn't actually turn on unless you have a head connected to it. You can try to turn it on, but then you get this like pulsating light and it won't actually do anything. So let me put on a head, and as soon as you connect it, it already starts. Anytime you open it, it automatically goes to 1. Kind of annoying, but it is what it is. Anyway, for your first experience, I would say always start with 1 because you don't know what you're getting yourself into. So, you know, just try it out on the back of your palm and then you won't be as freaked out by it as you would be the first time you put it on. The device won't actually flash unless it has like perfect contact with the skin, and the way you know it has perfect contact is when this backlight turns on. So once you do that, you have sealed the skin, so then you can do a little flash. Now this, you feel a little heat on one, like nothing really happens. But do try it. Do that a couple of times, then you really won't be freaked out anymore at all. Because it seems daunting in the beginning, but really it's not a big deal at all. So then you move it all the way up to 5, and then you do this over and over again. Well, not on your hand, but whatever part of your body you want to use this on. But you see, like, I'm trying to click it now and it won't actually do anything, which is a nice safety mechanism. Now, if you don't know what setting this should be on really for your skin type or the type of hair that you have, there's this little magnifying glass button here that if you click it, it scans your skin and gives you the right setting, again, for your skin and hair type. So you make contact with the skin and then it scans and then it flashes whatever number it thinks it's appropriate for you, and then you have to click OK, and then that's it. Then you can already start using it. And then obviously maybe I should have started with this, but that's the on and off button. So immediately out of the gate, does this thing work? The answer is yes, but yes, definitely, it works, absolutely. And you know, especially in the beginning, you see a big difference, like immediately by immediately I mean 4 weeks or so. You have to have an IPL session like every other week or so, or maybe even every week in the beginning, and then it's just maintenance. But you have to use it more frequently in the beginning, and then you really notice a difference. What I will say is that if you're not consistent and you're not upkeeping the IPL sessions, the hair will grow back. And when I actually say that it works, it takes away maybe like 90% of the hair, but it will not take 100% of the hair away. Not in the way that a razor does it. Okay, so if you expect to buy this thing and have baby smooth skin after like, I don't know, 4 months, 6 months, whatever you think it will take to get you there, that's not the reality. So it was kind of my expectation, and I really did it consistently in the beginning, and I was hoping that I was gonna get to that point where I was gonna be hair free for like a good period of time, but some hair will always grow back. It will never be 100% smooth baby bottom skin. Okay, so if you're looking at this thinking that it's gonna give you that, it won't. It never will. Now, if what you want is 90% hairless skin, then that's, yes, you can get this with this. But again, you need to upkeep it. So you're gonna get that and you're gonna have that for, I don't know, a month or two, some weeks, but then it will grow back, and it will grow back more and more and more. Well, actually it will grow back, but it will never grow back to the original state that you had your hair in. It will kill off some hair follicles, and I can show you what I mean by that. Actually, I'll show you a couple of stages that my body hair is in right now, because I've used this consistently in the first year, then I got bored. Then I don't know, I just couldn't find the time or motivation to keep using it. And then some of my hair grew back, but other areas I did use it more frequently, and that's mainly my armpits, and my armpits are virtually hairless. But last week I shaved this one for the first time in, I don't know, and you can see the hair growth after 1 week. And this other armpit, I don't remember the last time I shaved it. Must have been over a month ago. I really don't remember. It's winter. I'm really not. I'm trying to keep myself warm, you know? Okay, there is no hair. So for armpit number 1, as you can see, there is virtually no hair. And if it is, it's so tiny. And this is after 1 full week of not shaving. The hair grows back very slowly, and if it even grows back. Now for armpit number 2, you can really see the difference in the length of the hair, but in terms of the numbers of hair, it's still very few. And this is after, I don't know, many sessions in the beginning of 2020, and then upkeeping it about once every 3 months or so. I do another laser session on my armpits, and it's keeping it here. And you know, from a distance, like, you really can't notice a difference. You can't tell that there is hair there. You can start seeing it when you get up close and personal, but it doesn't bother me. It's not itchy. And yeah, from a distance, I can go without shaving my armpits for weeks on end, months on end even. It just gets really long that I can, you know, start braiding it. And that's a bit, yeah, it's not my vibe, but it really does work. So that's the story with my armpits. This is what happens when you keep up with the IPL sessions. Let me show you the story of my legs, which I did not keep up with the IPL sessions in, I want to say, years. I think the last time I did it must have been once last year, and before that, the year before. So in 2 years, I haven't done this on my legs consistently. And I have a good reason for this. 1, I got bored, fair point, my bad. But 2, let me show you the state of the head that you're meant to use for your legs and like larger portions of your body. I don't know what happened here. You're meant to clean these heads after each use, which I did. But for some reason, the reflective surface of this head just completely rusted. I don't even know what happened. Burned. This is not something that I can clean off. And unfortunately, I can't use this anymore as intended. 1, I don't know what happened, so I'm a bit maybe don't use that anymore. 2, I don't actually know if the reflective surface has anything to do with the performance of the flash in the IPL device. So yeah, I'm just not using this anymore. However, this is the larger like window of all of the heads, and if I am to use like another head on my legs, I'm gonna be here forever, and I don't want that. I already have a hard time dedicating time to doing this on most body parts, so it's just not right. And this started happening, I want to say, like 1 year in or so. Like it was a slow degradation of the head, but yeah, in the end, it really does not look good. So I don't want to use it anymore, and I have to buy a new one. And the new one is like 70 bucks. 70 euros. What in the hell do you mean? Like, they don't replace these. I haven't done anything wrong and they don't replace these. And I'm a little bit pissed off about that. But fair is fair. I actually don't care. So let me show you the state of my legs and what happens when you don't use this for 2 years, but having used it prior. Now I will say I have not shaved my legs in, again, at least a month. It must be more than a month. I think it was somewhere around New Year and it's now mid-Feb. So it's winter, let me be. I'm not shaving my legs in winter. I don't care. In any case, what I want to show you is that it grows back very thin and some areas are still bald. So I have bald patches throughout my legs where I've used the IPL in the past. So keep in mind, if you start this journey and at some point you think that your whole hair is going to grow back, it might not. So be wary of that. It's not a completely reversible procedure in a way. I call it a procedure. I don't know what you want to call it, but yeah, it's not completely reversible if you want to go back to your natural state before this. Now, personally, I knew that, and I knew I don't want to ever go back to what my hair used to be, which was 1, very dark, 2, very thick, and 3, very dense. I'm Eastern European, right? So this is in my genes. But there was a period of time when I used the Philips Lumea like really frequently, and my legs were spotless, and you know, they weren't like baby smooth, but you couldn't see anything. So yeah, that was a good time. And so I'll need to buy another one of these, but I'm still working myself up towards that, if you know what I mean. I find it really hard to justify 70 euros on a little thing like this. I just can't do it. Anyway, the rest of them are perfectly fine. Probably because I didn't use them as much. So yeah. Now, a question that I had in the beginning, and I know a lot of people have this question, is can you use it on your bikini line? Yes, absolutely you can. They even have a dedicated head for this. So you can do it. What I will say, my results vary. So like truly the outer edge generally has lighter skin, and if you have dark hair or darker hair, this will work wonderfully. Like it's completely smooth. And doesn't grow back quickly at all. And yeah, it's again a similar situation to my armpits. It works really well. Now, the more inward you go, the skin tends to get a bit darker as well, and I will say I have not had great results in that area. I don't know why. I've always done it at the same time with the rest of it, so, but it didn't work. It didn't work as well. It did work a little bit, so it's really not as thick. And when I say thick, imagine 2 hairs growing from the same follicle. 2 or more sometimes. Really, I had thick hair and that's now no longer the case, like at all. So it did do good, and you know, you can say goodbye to ingrown hairs anywhere on your body if you're getting done. My legs are smooth, especially if I exfoliate. Yeah, I never get ingrown hairs anymore, and I used to a lot when I was shaving frequently before. It works really well on your face as well. I just started like removing my mustache. I don't know why I haven't done that before, like a month or so ago. And I'm using the dedicated face head, and yeah, it's working well. It doesn't hurt. It's warm. But yeah, now the hair is growing slower. First, that's what happens, and then it will grow back sparser and sparser, and then up until it doesn't grow back at all. Perfect. It really is a lifesaver, especially as a hairy person. If you don't want it, this is amazing. And again, you're sure that you don't want the hair to come back. Now, this comes in the instructions, but keep in mind, if you want to use this device, you have to shave every time. And the shave needs to be as close to the skin as possible. Now, it doesn't have to be, but that's the way the Philips Lumea works best, and I think any IPL device actually. The smaller the hair is in the hair follicle, the better the IPL can burn it and damage it, and then it doesn't come back. They explain the whole technology on their website if you're interested, and there's also an app. If you're curious, I did download it in the beginning. I don't have it anymore. I used it for tracking purposes, and they would prompt me with a notification whenever I had to do another session, which was helpful in the beginning, but then as I got the hang of it, I didn't need that anymore. And they also have a lot of articles about how to use it, when to use it, troubleshooting, anything like that. So I would recommend getting the app in the beginning. It's not an amazing app, but it does have the right information for you there. And again, it explains how this technology actually works. Wonderful technology, by the way, like to give you this in the comfort of your own home for like, I think I paid around 400 something euros back in 2020. And I just checked the prices and they're still somewhere up there, like 380, 390. I wasn't expecting that. I was hoping for this to be cheaper by now, 4 years later, especially when there are so many others on the market. So I don't actually know if this is better than any of the brown, or there's another one. I don't know how or why this is different from those devices, but yeah, maybe in the future I'll get one of those as well and see if there's any difference. I will say this is quite massive. Like I have a big head and it's still quite big. So it can be a bit uncomfortable at times, and especially if you're doing like long sessions, if you have like bigger legs or you're doing your arms or your whole body, keep in mind that this thing gets heavy and it gets hot. So this head here especially gets really hot. I had to take breaks in between my legs just because it would like pinch a bit too much and it would be a bit uncomfortable for me. Yeah, keep that in mind. It's not a perfect solution and you might need to spread out the session times to allow this to cool off and then start fresh again. The other thing is, I don't think I mentioned this in the beginning. If you're on the highest setting, which you can get to, that's the most effective one in my opinion, the flashes take very long in between if you want to do it one by one. So you will see, because you can keep this tight and then the light will come on, but then if you zap it, even though you're in your position, this will not turn on. So it has to charge a little bit in between every flash. And it also depends on the type of head that's attached to the device. So the one for the intimate area and the face, and I think even the armpit, charges slower. So I don't know if there's anything different in the type of flash that you get out of it, but do keep that in mind. So whenever you want to do a different section on your body, you need to change the heads because it's all different. It's programmed in such a way that things happen differently. And the reason why I always do a session with it plugged in with this cable is because the flashes happen quicker then. It charges quicker in between each flash. And if you want to do a continuous flash, you just hold the button and then it will do it continuously, and that's it. But you can't like lock it in place, if that makes sense. And honestly, I think that's it. 4 years in, I'm still really happy with this device. I've used it in areas that I've really struggled with hair in the past, and it's made my life a whole lot easier. Even though it didn't take all the hair away, it's so little that it's practically invisible. And I'm completely unbothered by a few hairs here and there. It might have also come with the fact that I'm older now, but truly, it's made my life sublime. Not having to worry or think about shaving, you know, or hair growing back the next day, or stubble, or, well, you still get stubble, but it's, again, nowhere near the intensity that I had it when I would just shave normally. So, would I recommend it? Yes. Would I say it's worth 400 bucks? I don't know, because I don't know how well the other ones work. In my mind, logically, judging simply by the technology, I would say you don't need to get the most expensive one. It is convenient though, that you have like different sized heads for different areas of your body. And I think maybe that's where the price point hikes up a little bit compared to the rest. But if you're not really interested in that and you just want like a beginner IPL device, I would say maybe go for another one that's cheaper, because I think they work the same way. But again, if you can find a comparison video for this one and the other ones, that would be better. Watch more than just this video if you're interested in buying an IPL device. But if you're interested in buying precisely this one and you just needed a little bit of convincing, yes, do buy it. It's really nice. I love it. It really has been a staple in my like self-care sessions for the last couple of years. And I think that's the end of the video. I don't have anything else to say. If I missed anything or if you're curious about something in particular, let me know. Pop the question down below and I'll get back to you as quickly as I can. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope it was useful, and until next time, take care.